Yeah.
We got two new forms we're working with. Y equals, this is a vertex form. Okay, I'm going to ask you to stop. This is new stuff today. It's not review. So you got two new forms you're working with. This form here is called vertex form because you can easily pull out the vertex, HK. Where did we say HK before this year?
Geometry. Math.
Absolute value functions. We saw it in absolute value functions. Remember the vertex was HK.
Wait, refresh my memory. What were those?
The V?
Wait, well, when it's absolute value,
It's still HK. We pulled out the HK to find the vertex. Same thing here.
Oh, no, I remember.
Okay, same thing here. And then, ladies and gentlemen, hey, if this is the vertex, then remember the axis of symmetry goes through the x coordinate, right? X equals h. Okay? So here, intercept form. If it's in this form, like this is like factored form, isn't it? It's like two factors. See it? These two numbers are the x-intercepts.
Is that like number 3?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like number 3. So these two factors are the intercepts. I want you to add something to that. The vertex, I want you to add this. The vertex is, let's say the x-coordinate, I should say, of the vertex is the average of the intercepts. You're going to use this in this section. So P plus Q divided by 2 will give you the x-coordinate of the vertex. And it kind of makes sense if you think about this picture right here. Didn't I say, you guys told me this is 6.4 here, right?
Oh, yeah.
If I add 6.4 and 0 and divide in 2, I get the x-coordinate of the vertex, don't I? It makes sense, okay?
Wouldn't that be assuming that the same speed is captured?
This is vertex form, because I can pull HK out of there. I can pull the vertex, so I got to graph it. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull the vertex out. The vertex is HK. Now be careful. The original is a minus, this is a minus, so my H is going to be what? Positive 3. The original is a plus, this is a negative, so my K must be what? Negative 5. There's my vertex, 3, negative 5. That's the first thing I can plot, right? I can plot 3, negative 5. So I'm going to do that. Over 3, down 5. That's my vertex. Right? Yeah? This is also my axis of symmetry, so I might as well just sketch that because that might help me get a point or two. Now, could you whip this on the calculator and get some more points? Absolutely. But it's really easy to do it by hand. Plug in a 1 for x, plug in a 1 for x, and let's see what happens. I am trying to find one more point on my parabola. So I'm just going to plug in a 1 for x. Actually, I'm going to get 2 more points from this. Okay? That's in that form also. So we're going to do the vertex. What's the vertex? Pull out the vertex. What is it? Negative 2, negative 3 is the vertex. HK. HK. So I'm going to graph that. We're going to do intercepts for intercept form. So now I'm going to plug in 1 for x just for the heck of it, and I'm going to come up with another point. I'm going to plug in 1 for x. 1 plus 2 is 3. Squared is 9. Minus 3 is what?
6.
So there's another point on my parabola. Over 1, up 6. And then how do I get the other point? Yes. So it's 3 away from the line of symmetry, so I'm just going to go over this way, 3. Now I would always, on a quiz or a test, say to myself, wait a minute, is this parabola supposed to open up? Is it?
Yes.
Yes. Is this parabola supposed to open up? Yes. And this causes it to do what? Shrink. Right? Don't forget that. Guess what form?
You can't do that. Stupid command that.
No, but so many things. Wait,
Just stay with me. I'll get you there. Don't worry. Okay? We're actually going to start with this one, and then we'll go back to this one.
Is that a Q or?
That's a Q. Okay, so I can pull out the intercepts. The x-intercepts are P and Q. So what are my x-intercepts? What's the one here? 4, and what's the one here? Don't write them as an ordered pair because they're not an ordered pair. They're the two x-intercepts. So I'm going to graph them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and negative 1. Those are my x-intercepts. That's a beautiful thing. What else did I say on the front? Yes?
Why do they have to make it so confusing? It's like plus means negative, negative means plus.
It's not that confusing.
It really is.
You just have to know, if I leave that up there, all you got to do is look at that and say, oh, well.
Oh, -4. Cool.
Yeah, sorry, Ben. Okay, so to get the axis of symmetry, I add these two together, divide it by 2, because I'm cutting it exactly in half. Okay? So it's 3 halves, or 1.5. 3 halves, or 1.5. So my axis of symmetry is here, and that's also the x-coordinate of my vertex, 3 halves. So how do I find the y-coordinate?
Go in between.
How do I find the y-coordinate, though?
Divided by 2. Plug in 1.5.
Got to plug in 1.5 to my equation. I'm going to change it to 1.5.
Where'd you get the 1.5? It's 3 halves.
Because to find, like I said here, to find the x-coordinate of the vertex, you take the average of the intercepts. Like you said, you're finding the halfway point. So you add these together and cut them in half. That's the x-coordinate of the vertex. Then you plug it into here. And y equals negative 12.5. So my vertex is 3 halves, negative 12.5. Or decimal form. It doesn't matter how you write it. Decimal fraction. I don't really care.
Negative. Wouldn't it be really positive?
Magic. It is this form. Because the x is out here, I'm going to write it like this. Take a look so I don't lose you. This negative here, I'm going to write as a negative 1. This x right here is a factor. I'm going to write it as this. Ooh. I'm taking this and I'm rewriting this form. First of all, the negative I'm going to write as a negative 1. And then the x is by itself, which means really I could subtract 0 and get the same thing. It's just going to help me recognize the intercepts. And then x minus 4.
I'm going to do plus 0.
It doesn't matter. These are both factors. These are factors. I just wrote them so I can see what I'm looking for. So what's the intercepts, you guys? 0 and 4. 0 and 4 are the intercepts.
You basically forcibly added another x.
I didn't. The x was here. I didn't add it. This would be the same thing, Peter. This would be the same thing as this. It's the same thing.
So you like multiply it.
Not really.
So x is
I didn't do anything but subtract a 0 and make it into a factor. That's all I did.
Wait, 4.
Mm-mm. The original form is negative, so it's positive 4.
See, it's
Okay.
everybody else. Is it actually positive 4? Like, can you put it as positive? 'Cause I got positive 4. Plug it in.
I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, let's do this real quick. All right. If an object is propelled straight upward from Earth at an initial vertical velocity of 80 feet per second, its height after t seconds is given by this function. Okay? Where t is the time in seconds after the object is propelled, and h is the object's height. Okay? So, how many seconds after it's propelled will the object hit the ground? They're telling us right here, t minus 5. Okay, 5 seconds after it starts. How many seconds after it's propelled where the object hit the ground? 5 seconds.
Dang. Wait.
It's where it hits the x-axis. And this is a factor, and this is one of our factors right here. It's just like this equation right here. It's just like it. Just like it. Okay, this is one of our x-intercepts right here. 0 and 5. Okay? That's why I did this one second, because it's just like that one. This is one of our intercepts right here, 5. So we have this little picture here. We're taking off at time 0. It's some sort of object, and it lands at 5 seconds. I know that from my equation. I want to know what this is right here. Okay? So, what is the object's maximum height? Here's my equation. Okay? Again, this is vertex, or excuse me, intercept form. If I wanted to write it that way, I could if it helps me. You don't really have to. You can just recognize it without writing it that way. The x-intercepts are 0 and 5.
Did you write an extra T in there?
No, the T is there.
No, wait, after the 16.
I know my x coordinate is going to be what then?
2.5.
2.5. If I add these two together and cut it in half. I need the y coordinate of that vertex. That will be my maximum. So in the vertex, my x coordinate is 2.5. I need to find the y coordinate.
Oh, it's 2.
Right? Because it's halfway between there.
So you just plug it in?
Just plug it in. H of t is equal to negative 16, 2.5 minus 0 times 2.5 minus 5, and I'm going to get 100 feet. So that is my maximum. 100 feet in 2.5 seconds. That's pretty dang fast.
Does that mean?
Yeah, that's your y coordinate. Your maximum is always the y coordinate of your vertex.
I feel like I'm gonna get that now.
All right, now wait, look at that other one. It looks nasty, doesn't it? It's not. If I FOIL first, I'm going to change that to negative 0.5 just because.
Yes, but where on the line?
You don't need to know that.
Oh, you need to know on the line.
What's our homework?
Your homework is on the calendar that I gave you yesterday.
The x would be negative.
Well, sometimes we change it.
I know. Already from yesterday, Lucas? Goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is new stuff. Practice it. Practice it.
Zero balance.
Practice it.
249.